This is my commentary on Chapter 5 of Beyond Formulas in Mathematics and Teaching, written by Daniel Chazan. This chapter explores how teaching is seen as an uncertain craft. It can be difficult to understand why questions in the area of educational research don't always have a clear right answer. To help describe this, Chazan references a model from Joe McDonald. This model places teaching in the center of a triangle, where the three vertices of the triangle represent the teacher, the student, and the subject matter. The relations in this triangle interact and are in flux, which is why the triangle is made of elastic. Thus, uncertainties arise about teaching, as the qualities of the teacher, students, and subject matters are different in every classroom. What I wanted to focus on is the methods Chazan has for teachers to approach and embrace these uncertainties. Firstly, Chazan sees paired teaching assignments as an opportunity to navigate these uncertainties. First, it allows teachers to be an observer in the classroom. In completing the certification process to become a teacher, one has to observe current teachers for months, but students and their educational needs change every single year. So it doesn't make sense for a teacher to rely solely on their experience from when they were first gaining certification. To adapt to the changes in students every year, teachers should see teaching as a continuous learning process, and continuing to observe should be a part of this. Additionally, Chazan brings up that sharing an experience is different than describing it, which makes it necessary for this continuous learning to be in the form of observation, instead of just, say, a teacher attending seminars on educational practice. This shared experience helps teachers to build trust and respect between each other, and results in new outcomes that the teachers may not have found on their own. Learning to teach isn't the only continuous process that teachers should engage in. Instead, teachers should also commit to developing a personal understanding of the math they teach, and building a curriculum that is responsive to students' ideas and takes into consideration the individuality of each student, whether it be their learning style or social class. This often means a course is taught differently, not just between different years, but between different class periods. Chazan does recognize that having different sections of a course teach the content differently is something that usually isn't tolerated by secondary schools, and brings up understandable concerns that arise when this happens. For example, if a student is in an advanced placement class, they will need to take the exact same test every other student in the country does, and thus, they may want to be taught it by the book in order to succeed on that test. But in my opinion, I think this brings up a bigger issue surrounding standardized tests and how they can detract from deeper mathematical learning. Chazan concludes that teachers need more resources in order to successfully implement teaching practices that balance these concerns and a desire for more effective curricula. There are several conclusions about the uncertainty of teaching that Chazan wants readers to draw. First, the uncertainty needs to be acknowledged. We should not fall into the trap of believing that there is only one right answer on how to teach. Chazan points out that this doesn't mean that the insights of a single teacher are not valuable, but instead that they can't just be blindly applied to every situation. Second, teachers need to be supported in their journey. Educators need support from other teachers, parents, mathematicians, and researchers as they navigate these uncertainties. Third, teachers should not give up and instead work with and embrace the uncertainty. By abandoning an endless search for a single right way to teach, and instead taking advantage of the daily opportunities to refine teaching practices, educators can revolutionize teaching as a dynamic career filled with continual growth and discovery. Here I have my two questions for you all. First, I want to ask you to share any experience you have had teaching another class with someone else and what that was like for you. If any of you don't have this type of experience, I'd be interested to hear about whether you think you would like or dislike this if you did this in the future. Second, Chazan mentions how the teaching of a subject can not only change from year to year, but from section to section in a single school year. While it is beneficial to not solely rely on a textbook-based curriculum, as it allows teachers to adapt to their students' needs, do you think it is fair to ask teachers to do this, even if they aren't trained in curriculum development? From my knowledge, a typical secondary math teacher may teach 2 or 3 different courses a year, of which they have, say, 2 sections of each course. If the students between sections are vastly different, then a teacher's workload could be doubled if they adapt the curriculum differently for each section. As we all know, teachers are already often overworked and underpaid. So I'd like to hear your opinion on this possible extra responsibility. Thank you.